Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I know this is a couple months after this incident has taken place, but I want to weigh on a particular incident that occurred back in the month of April. And the incident was just this. There was a Virginia father who disciplined his son because his son had skipped school or his class and he was being disrespectful to his teacher. But apparently, based on what the father had said to his son in an earlier account, he told him that in the event that you did do anything like this in school, that you would walk out of class or that you would talk disrespectfully to your teachers, you would suffer the consequences of having a boxing match with me when you get home. And the father in this particular instance did just that. When he heard what his son had done and the son got home, he posted a video on social media. He had his son put on boxing gloves, and he in turn put on boxing gloves, and he began to box his son. His son, mind you, is 17 years old, almost an adult according to United States standards. And the fact that they were boxing with gloves on, the father allowed the son to strike him back. And in his earlier dissertation, he said that he was also teaching his son how to fight, in addition to teaching him how to vent his frustrations through the boxing match. Now, the father's name is, I believe, Tavis Sellers was his last name. And this, again, was in Virginia. So he commenced this boxing match with his son. And it seemed as though it lasted for 2 to 4 minutes. And when he was done boxing his son, he showed a close-up video section of his son. The son's nose was bleeding. And his t-shirt was seemingly full of blood. Okay. So he posts this on social media so that other teenagers could possibly learn a lesson from this, and to also know that there are some fathers that indeed do discipline their children. It just so happens that this was the type of discipline that this father found necessary, or that he simply chose to use concerning his son. And he said he had a couple boys at least. Now, after this hit social media, someone contacted the authorities, and in turn, CPS, Child Protective Services, and they came knocking on the father's door. And the father asked his son in a subsequent video, "What do you think about that?" He said that the social worker was more nervous than the son had ever been around his own father. And not too long after that, the social worker or Child Protective Services came back and they took the son from the father's home. And then subsequent to that, the police contacted the father and had him come and turn himself in, and he was charged with basically child abuse and battery. I'm interested to know what your opinion or your feelings are concerning this matter. Now, I listened to the advice show on YouTube and a few other videos where a couple other black father parents left their viewpoint, if you will, and they said that they would not do anything any different, and that the father deserves to chastise or train his child the way in which he wants to. I believe that, number one, the father should not be charged with anything. And number two, the son is technically an adult. Number three, Child Protective Services has no business in your business. 4, the police department has no business in your business. When it comes to training up your children, when it comes to administering corporate punishment, if peradventure that man was not in his child's life and he became rogue, the child that is, and he was out in the streets selling drugs, robbing stores, robbing people, assaulting people, mugging people, molesting people, whatever, and the list can go on, what would have happened? The police would have done much more to this young boy, this young man. It would have been perhaps a case like Freddie Gray, a case like McDonald in Chicago, shot dead 16 times, not showing any threat to the police, walking away from the police, and they shot him dead. It would be like the young man, Tamir Rice in Cleveland, when the police officers pulled up on him and he had a fake gun and they shot him dead within a couple of seconds. Didn't ask any questions. Didn't say, we're the police, is that a gun, put it down, nothing. They drove within 10 feet, opened the door, and shot the little boy dead. Could have been like that. So we should admire a father, especially a black father, who takes the time out of his life to discipline his children so that his children won't become a menace to society. Because when there is no father around and you have a single black mother raising her children, and the child does something unlawful or illegal and it harms someone else or they're damaging property, then someone says, where's the father? Now here is the father, and this is the social media rant and rampage that you receive as a result. He shouldn't be doing that. Again, our children were given to us by the Creator, by God, Yahweh. They were given to us. They were placed in our care. And we are supposed to raise our children so that they are productive and good citizens in the society in which we live. No one else has any right to tell us how to discipline our children when we're not harming them or we're not beating them to the point where it becomes fatal. The police beat you worse than that father with boxing gloves was hitting his son. And again, his son is technically an adult. So the fact that they charged the father with battery, they have no business in your home at all, in your home business at all. No one does. Unless you kill someone, unless you cripple or maim someone, I can understand, possibly. And it might be questionable him posting it on social media, but this is what you get when you place things on social media of this caliber, because a lot of people are very sensitive to this particular subject. But a lot of times it's not even sensitivity to the subject, it's the fact that there's another black man down. Here's another black man that we can point a finger to, stereotypical attitude that is. We can point a finger at this other black man and say, this is how they behave, this is how they act. When in fact, he has done nothing wrong. Now, I am going to place a couple videos of a couple of other individuals that have given their opinion or thoughts on the same subject. If you care to watch those videos and see what they say. But you know what? There's two justices in America. There's the justice for white folks, and there's the just us mentality on the other side of that fence. What is your feeling? What is your opinion? This is Brother Teacher. Like this video and share it with your family if you would. And let me know what your opinions and your thoughts are. Thank you. See you in the next video.